Yeah. I'll take you on that.
No. Welcome to the Lower Macungie Township Board of Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting for June 4th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Could you please join me for a pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the roll call this evening, everyone is present with the exception of Commissioner Melissa Bosak. She had a prearranged commitment tonight. Item number 4, agenda modifications. There are none this evening. Item 5.1, there was an executive session held after the May 27th workshop to discuss potential litigation. Item 6.1, ordinance amending Chapter 21, streets and sidewalks for road opening permits. Bruce.
Thank you, Commissioners. Before you, you have the amendment to Chapter 21, as discussed in significant detail at several workshop meetings several months ago. It's now the time to have you consider this adoption. This provides additional details for when contractors perform work in the road right-of-way and also the street when they have to cut the street. We've worked with Public Works, legal, and planning to ensure that we've covered all of the relevant topics. Also identifies, security and fees held for these types of projects. It is substantially more detailed than what the current ordinance is, and we're hopeful that it will help us as a staff better manage the process. So we're recommending that the board consider this favorably, and if there's any questions, please let me know.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve, but is there any other comments from the additional staff? Seeing none, all right. I have a motion to approve ordinance 2026-03 by Commissioner Robert. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Rafus. Do I have any comments or questions from the board or from the public? Yes, sir.
One question from Doug, and that is, I've seen the legal expenses and the engineer's expenses, and I should assume they're okay with it, but you're the one that's saying the yay or nay on most of it, and are you okay with it?
Yes, I worked closely with Anne Marie in finance and the other members of staff, and I'm comfortable with the fees that are as they're established right now.
Okay.
All right, seeing no more comments, I'll call for the roll call vote. Renee?
Commissioner Rafus?
Yay. Aye, sorry.
Commissioner Robert?
Aye.
Commissioner Barrett?
Aye.
Commissioner Beitler?
Aye. I have 4 ayes. Motion passed. Item 6.2, Resolution 2026-24, approving disposition of township property. Once again, Bruce.
Thank you. As discussed at the last workshop, various departments have submitted a list of items to be auctioned off. This follows our policy, and we post these on our municipal bid website for disposition. It's necessary that the board approve this list and consider it so that we can move forward with the process. We list the items as well as potential value so to make sure we're compliant with that policy.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Robert. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second by Commissioner Barrett. Do I have any comments or questions from the board or the public? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
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 Aye. The ayes have it. Motion passed. 6.3, Resolution 2026-25, approving investment services with Freedom Capital Group. Anne Marie, please.
Thank you, Board. I know this was in front of the Board for a workshop, and I believe the last meeting, so we're looking forward to approve this resolution, and I believe it'd be advantageous to the township just to continue to grow our investment portfolio.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Robert. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rafis. Do I have any questions from the board or the public? Yes, sir.
Very small question. So there was a lot of discussion, I think the last 2, maybe 3 times that this has been brought up. Was there anything that you noted that stood out to you as why this is beneficial?
Yeah, so I think, with investments, a little background with investments, especially like CDs, like, as you know, we have to do resolutions every time we want to have a bank. And you're only allowed to have about $235,000 per CD. So it's time consuming for me to go find all these banks, where when you have an advisor, they can go shop the best rates for you. We can tell them what banks we don't and do want to do business with. And then, he's the one watching the market, or she is watching the market to kind of help advise us on that side. And, we've used other advisors in the past, and we do continuously have advisors from other investment firms that we use, or businesses.
Okay, great. I mean, that was the consensus. I think we just never heard that directly from you. Since you're dealing directly with the finances, it's good to hear it directly from you as well. So,
Thank you.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any more questions from the board or the public? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. Motion passed. All right. 6.4, consideration of a settlement for the Abbas zoning appeal for 7773 Furnace Drive. Mark.
Thank you, President Beitler. This matter before you tonight is a settlement of a pending zoning appeal. It started as a zoning enforcement matter several years back. It involves a property owner that constructed a sports court and some other structures without permits and in certain setbacks for the property. The appeal at the zoning hearing board was decided in favor of the township. The property owner then appealed that to the Court of Common Pleas, where it's been pending since. After much back and forth with the property owner over a couple of years, we've reached a settlement where they're going to make the structures that I mentioned compliant and make sure that they have permits, it will resolve several years of litigation and still get the township what it should have gotten in the first place. So I would be seeking a motion to approve the settlement, authorize me to sign the stipulation of settlement, and we can get it approved by the zoning hearing board as a solicitor as well, and then submit it to the court for approval.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Are there any comments or questions from the board or the public?
One question for the solicitor is, in the settlement, it requires zoning approval for the structures in the backyard to stay in the flood zone or in the drainage easement. Is there anything that we need to do to have that occur?
So the settlement itself will essentially provide them a variance for what is currently there. The court will approve that. If they ever want to come back and put anything else in that drainage easement, they'll need to go back to the zoning hearing board for relief. So the board doesn't need to do anything now.
Do they need zoning hearing board approval for the variance for the stuff that's there now?
No, because the court has jurisdiction over the matter now. So that when the court approves the settlement, that variance will be granted by the court.
Okay.
Any more comments or questions from the board or the public? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor state so by saying aye. Aye. Consideration passed. 6.5. Resolution 2026-26, accepting dedication of pump station lot for Mertztown residential subdivision. Mark.
Okay, thank you. What's before you now is a resolution whereby the township would be accepting dedication of a piece of land on which the pump station for the Mertztown residential subdivision that's being constructed now is currently built. The resolution calls for the township to accept the land right now, not the pump station, for reasons that are stated in the resolution. This has history back to the Spring Creek settlement back in 2013, in which, through the court-ordered settlement, the township was required to take ownership of this pump station for this subdivision. So fast forward 13 years, we are at the point where the pump station has been constructed. This is the deed to the land that would be accepted if this resolution passes, and then recorded, and then once more of the subdivision is built and certain approvals are obtained, then the pump station itself would be transferred to the township.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner Robert. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a second by Commissioner Barrett. Do I have any comments or questions from the board or from the public? I'm going to start this one. About an hour ago, I wrote something up, and I want to be corrected if I'm inaccurate with anything I say on this. But I just wanted to be very clear, and again, corrected if I'm wrong, about what is happening here. We are not taking on or accepting dedication of this lot because I think it's a good idea or a good deal for the township. We are forced into it because of the Spring Creek settlement agreement negotiated by a previous Board of Commissioners in 2013. This agreement/settlement continues to impose costs on the township taxpayers. This is one example of a bad agreement aging poorly. When we take ownership of this pump station in the future, it will be a liability and not something I support in principle. We will be accepting long-term responsibility, maintenance obligations, and future costs that should never have been shifted onto the township to support development residents did not want. Unfortunately, the township is bound by the terms of a settlement agreed upon by commissioners 13 years ago, some of whom did this damage, in my opinion, then left the area. I want to make sure some residents know exactly why this is happening. I believe this was not good public policy. This is the township continuing to clean up a crummy deal from the past. The objection to this agreement, and this is what I'd like clarification on, was won in court by a group of concerned citizens. I don't know the name of the group, but then it was appealed by the commissioners that a judge ruled in favor of the citizens. The commissioners used the people's taxpayer money to fight the people on this decision. And again, I would like clarification on this. I am voting for this tonight because at this point I have no choice. And either Manager Beidel or Solicitor Fisher, do you have any additions or a statement to what I just said?
I don't have anything to respond to negatively in the statement. I would just clarify that the requirement of accepting the pump station is part of a settlement. So it wasn't part of the court decision. It was the court approved the settlement, but the settlement was agreed to by all the parties to the settlement. So it would have been the individuals, the township, and the developer. That's really the only nuance to what you said. Otherwise, nothing else to clarify.
All All right, any more public comments or commissioner comments? Yes, Julie.
Julie McDonald, Fresh Meadow Drive. I guess I'd like to, since you have made a statement against us, I'd like to know a little bit more about what the whole thing was all about to start with.
Well, it was, I believe it was the warehouses versus a quarry in the western part of the township. And that started, and I know if you've been around, if we both think about it, it's not crystal clear to me, and that's why I want clarification on some of it. But I remember clearly the hearing in the back room here, and it was a totally different board that's sitting here. Nobody sitting here was involved with it.
Given.
But it was a battle, and if my memory's correct, and it may not be, went to court and it was ruled in favor of the group that challenged it. And I think they won their decision because of a technicality in the zoning language.
But what was the issue? What was the bottom line issue? What caused this? That's what I'm trying to figure out, is how did this, why was it an issue to begin with? I mean, at this point, it isn't clear at all, and you're putting it all on the board back then, and obviously that's true because they voted in that direction, but I'm thinking, why?
Again,
there's nothing now that tells us what that was all about.
But it had to be a big issue back then because there was a lawsuit, and I will get back to you and get more info, and I've been asking for info on this, and I've been trying to research it, but I will get back to you.
Yeah.
And maybe Maury can elaborate on this.
Well, okay, so based on the location of that parcel, gravity flow is not an option for having storm sewers that gravity feed.
Okay, yeah.
And so it was established that there would need to be a pump station. And if I remember correctly, the agreement was it would be owned by the township, but the homeowners association would actually provide the funds for maintaining it. But if there's additions for other users like people in Upper Macungie Township, then the township would have to negotiate with Upper Macungie as far as what kind of terms for the money for the expansion.
And that may be so. Like I said, I'm not crystal clear on my memory. But, Bruce, I thought the township is maintaining this pumping station.
That's correct. The township, per the settlement agreement, has to own, maintain, and operate the pump station. What was placed, as Commissioner Robert is correct, those obligations for the cost component of the operation will be borne by the HOA for that neighborhood. So both pieces are correct. As part of the settlement from that original, and I'm also, as I always try to research the history of the township, I don't want to misspeak, in that 2010 component that started all of these questions with the quarry and everything else led to this resulting, development on the western portion of the township and obligations to the township, such as this pump station.
Okay. All righty, thank you.
Does that help you?
Helps.
All right. Do I have any more comments from the board or questions? Any more from the audience? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 7, public comment on non-agenda items. All quiet? Item 8, communication. Bruce.
Thank you. Just one item this evening, a correspondence from the Department of Agriculture expressing their thanks to the township for our ongoing and long-term preservation of land efforts. And that's all we have this evening.
All right, thank you. Item 10, approval of meeting minutes of previous meetings.
Move to approve.
I have a motion to approve the previous meetings from May 21st, 2026 by Commissioner Robert. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Barrett was first. And the reason well, we have to go by the order, but thank you, Stephanie, for your second also. Thank you. All right, do I have any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved. Item 11, approval of transfers, bill list, and payroll.
Move to, well,
Who's going to take this?
I'll take it.
Right.
For your consideration this evening, the general fund, $335,892.79. The solid waste fund, $420,283.26. The sewer fund, $135,415.49. The capital projects fund, $5,156.90. The open space fund, $808.13. The open space maintenance fund, $24,051.17. The payroll, $180,306.06. The developer escrow, $47,226.81. For a total of all funds, $1,149,140.61.
move to approve.
I have a motion to approve the bill list. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Rafis. Do I have any commissioner or public comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Bill list approved. Item 12.1, department reports. Are there any departmental director updates this evening? Yes, sir, Doug.
Thank you, Mr. President. One quick update from the workshop. There was a question was asked about the Indian Creek Culvert project. I met with my PennDOT inspectors. They anticipate the end date is supposed to be September 14th, but they are way ahead of schedule. So they anticipate to be done sometime in August.
All right, thank you. Vince, anything this evening?
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing this evening. Happy to answer any questions. Also, Nathan, our planner's on. Any questions for the department?
Any questions for Vince? Any questions for Nate? All right, Anne Marie, do you have anything for us?
Thank you, President Beitler. Not at this time. I'll be bringing stuff to the workshop.
All right, thank you. Engineering.
I have nothing to report tonight.
All right, well, that covers 12.2. Engineering, nothing to report this evening. 12.3, solicitor.
I got to talk enough, I think, but I'll remind you that we will have a hearing on the road vacation coming up. It's planned for the next meeting. We have to advertise that and get notices out. As long as that goes forward, it'll be the next meeting, but that's coming up. We talked about it at the workshop, I believe.
All right, thank you.
Happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions for Mark? Any questions from the audience for Mark? Seeing none. 12.4.1, Township Manager's Report. Manager Beidel.
Thank you. Just one item in addition to our report that we gave at the workshop last week. Just like to recognize we have actually 3 employees who are retiring from the township. Charlie Hetzer and Kevin Stump in the Public Works Department after 20 years. Miss Lorraine Lyko in the administrative assistant pool. Lorraine has been with us for 14 years. Lorraine's last day is tomorrow. The gentleman in Public Works next week. So we want to thank them for all their service and just recognize them before the board. So I have nothing else unless there's questions.
Any questions for Bruce? Just one comment. Them 3 people, beans I went through it. That's a big, it's a big move retiring, but it can either be happy or a little sad, but the sadness goes away quick. Goes away quick. All right, item 13.1, there is no unfinished business to address this evening. Item 14, Board of Commissioners report. 14.1, the next regular board meeting is June 18th, 2026 at 6 p.m. 14.2, the next board workshop is June 22nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. There is no executive session scheduled for this evening. It is now 6:27. This meeting is adjourned.
Thanks.
All right.
I already thought 6:25, so.
Well, they were close.